important goal, given the weekend's draw with Clyde. That was a hugely important 3 points tonight.
No, of course. We play to win, and we are favourites at the moment. I think we did really well to live up to that. We tried to take control of the game from the beginning. We drove the tempo up as high as we could, sometimes a little bit higher than we were actually capable of. But I would prefer that in the phase we are in now than we play too slow, and we have to try to push from outside. I think the boys were excellent in terms of really trying to make it difficult for Peterhead to get something out of the game, and then obviously there was a few mistakes in the first half that we are trying to get rid of. I think it will come. I know it will make less and less of these mistakes, and we will also see more and more quality in our attacking game. I think you can compare this game with the one on Saturday because it's two totally different circumstances we play under. But you can see a team today that has that thrives extremely well when in the few phases, specifically in the first half, where the game is a little bit open, when there's a lot of space to play in. I think we played at a very, very high tempo at times and with some good quality. And then playing that last 30 minutes is always the most difficult for any team, no matter what level, to play against a team that's so low and so compact and so hard working, and then finding the right moments to set up opportunities.
That's what I was going to ask you, that in terms of the belief, because it's a new squad, it's a new management team, in terms of what that will do, because as you say, to really dig in the last 30 minutes, you kept plugging away and you got the reward. No, I think as a coach, I think there's a big danger in just analysing the result and say, okay, because we got that goal at the end, that means that we are believing in what we're doing. I think you could see a team that throughout the entire game has very strong belief in each other, in themselves, and in what we're doing. No matter if we scored 2 today, had it been 1-1, or if we had scored 5. That part is dependent on quality. And how much quality we're able to produce at the moment, and we know that these players will grow. We know that some of the new players who've come in, we have to look after them a little bit, because some of them are a little bit behind in terms of pre-season. That's why we took Manny and Eli out at half-time. That was planned, and that's why Said is not involved yet. He will be involved Saturday, hopefully. So we know there's a lot of improvement to come still, but the belief was there, and that was also maybe the most important message before the game to the players, that we expect a very strong body language all the way through and a strong attitude, no matter what phase in the game we're playing, if we're defending or if we're tracking back from transition, if we're pressing, if we're setting up preparing a set piece, if we are starting the low build up against the high pressure and trying to break through when there's very direct, when there's a lot of space, or when we have to be a little bit patient but still keep the tempo and the balance in the team at the end, and producing that final moment where we can finish off the game.
So you made 6 changes tonight. You started to see what your best starting 11 might be?
That's difficult, and it's not. I don't need to see what our best starting lineup. I need to see I need to see all the players first of all, and they need to get an idea of what we want to do in their position, and also have an understanding of the full picture and the team. And then I get more and more information every day on who look the sharpest and the best. But we also know that we're not going to go through the season with a fixed starting lineup. We need the full squad. But then obviously there are players who are shining early in the preseason, and there are players who need a little bit more time to get up to speed and find their level. And then you also know that it might be some of the other players next game who look good, and I've seen enough positive things from enough players in the squad to be very positive about the squad we are trying to build.
Matty Connolly making his debut tonight, looked really assured on the ball.
Yeah, I think he's a very modern goalkeeper. He's not the tallest, but it wasn't really an issue today. Obviously there will be other games, especially in
in the Premiership, where he would get a lot more under pressure on the goal for crosses and set pieces. But that part of the game where he's part of the build-up and sweeping, I think he has a very high level, or that adds something to our game. So it was very positive and very cool for him to have that first game in front of a very, very impressive crowd, I have to say, in the middle of the Scottish summer, where some might prefer to be somewhere else on a night like this, but they still come up, and by 2,500 people to support us. So I was really impressed and happy with the atmosphere, and that he also could get his first game in front of a home crowd. I think it was a big moment for him.
Sorry, I was just going to ask you, in terms of playing out from the back, this situation at the moment doesn't concern you too much. At the moment, you think it will improve. Because obviously the game with Clyde, Callum giving the ball away in that situation. Matty had a situation where it was kind of the ball was in between two players and it nearly led to a goal. It's a bit confident that that's going to improve.
Yeah. Look, I think in terms of that, we've come a lot longer than I expected at this moment. In terms of composure, structure, bravery, and also quality. I think some of the stuff we did on the ball in the early build-up today, except from a few moments, also last time on a difficult pitch, and especially also against Carlisle, that none of you had the opportunity to see, has been really, really good. And I'm very confident that it will be better and better and better. And then, you never talk about, I think there's a very good experienced manager who mentioned it at some point, you never talk about the mistakes you make when you kick a long ball, you lose the ball, and then you're totally open and they run down and score. That's not a build-up mistake, but it is. There's also all the chances, a striker who scores 20 goals a season, he also misses chances now and then. So that's part of football, but we're on a path that we believe strongly it will take us further than where we have been over the recent years, and football is developing. There are so many examples on clubs with smaller budget who do really, really well and goes beyond their budget in the league and goes to the top. And the big headline in that is bravery. Having a brave approach to the game.
No, Lennon again tonight. Was it still an injury from you mentioned on Saturday?
I said that's a big word. I think he's had a little thing that we are assessing day by day, and tonight was too early still. But it's let's see tomorrow how he is.
And for the players to adjust from 30-degree heat on Saturday to monsoon conditions today, it's quite the contrast in 3 days.
Yeah, and that's what you get in football, isn't it? That you have to be able to be flexible and play in all sorts of conditions. If you want to play in Europe, you could also play in minus degrees 1 week, and then you could go and play in 20 or 25 degrees the next week. So it just shows that you have to be flexible. You have to have a style of play that works under several conditions. I think some of the phases worked better today. There was a lot of passes on the ground through and into their organization today. A lot of good stuff. The first goal was a good example of that. And then the other day we had to go a lot more over the top because it was hard to play that type of football, and that just makes the level of difficulty a little bit higher. Which we also saw today when we tried to go over the top. We didn't succeed that many times, which is understandable. So that's that part of the game we can improve and go even sharper, but we need the variation and the flexibility in what we do, and I think we're getting better and better at that.
Well,
All right, thank you.